Here again is our 15-dimensional scale within our 15-dimensional matrix. Okay? In the 15-dimensional scale, there are something called harmonic universes. A harmonic universe is formed by 3-dimensional bands and how they relate to each other. And in between every set of 3-dimensional bands, there's something called a repulsion zone, which is an area of magnetism that literally forces the dimensions away from each other. So each harmonic universe will become a sort of spherical reality field that is separate from the one above it. They have a different rate of pulsation of particles. So even though they are taking place in the same space, individuals focused in one harmonic universe will not be able to perceive the activity or individuals focused in another one. And this is the basic structure of what we are living in here on planet Earth in the galaxy that we know. We are in something called the first harmonic universe. It is composed of dimensions 1, 2, and 3. Dimensions 4, 5, and 6, which are the ones that are the next up in the dimensional scale, they would represent our next stage of evolution. They represent the second harmonic universe. The third harmonic universe would be represented by the center, which is dimensions 7, 8, and 9. That is the harmonic universe that every one of our consciousness had to pass through in order to expand itself into the 15-dimensional matrix. Through the third harmonic universe, we will also be able to leave the 15-dimensional matrix. The 15-dimensional matrix is what gives us the quality of perception we call time and growth through time. When we evolve through this scale and return through here, we enter a level of eternal existence that really can't even be described in time terms, in linear language. But it's a very beautiful place to be, and it is really the objective of all of our spiritual traditions. They have been trying to, in their conceptual way, lead us to the evolution through this scale and back through the center, through the third harmonic universe. Now, there is also the fourth harmonic universe here, which is composed of dimensions 10, 11, and 12. And then there's the final fifth harmonic universe, which is composed of dimensions 13, 14, and 15. So for our discussion, we really just need to understand that there are 5 different harmonic universes within the 15-dimensional matrix that we're a part of. The only ones we really need to be concerned about now are the one we're in and the one we're going to be going to once we evolve beyond the one we're in. We are in the first harmonic universe. We are going to be going, as we evolve as a species, into the second harmonic universe. Now, in some of our traditions, we have stories of heaven. And this is what they are referring to. They are referring to a place that does exist, and it has matter, just like our world has matter, but the matter is less dense. We do have bodies there in the second harmonic universe. But our stories of heaven were trying to lead us to an understanding of how to get to the second harmonic universe. For it is much more beautiful there. Energy is much finer, consciousness is much clearer, beings are much more evolved, so we don't have the problems and the hurtful conditions that we often face here. It is a heaven compared to where we are now. All right, the harmonic universes also represent different time cycles, which means the particles that things and consciousness are composed of in those universes pulsate at different rates of speed compared to each other. In our universe, in our first harmonic universe, we are in what they call the Taran time cycle. That's the slowest moving, the slowest pulsating of the 5 harmonic universes. The next one, and as we evolve out of the Taran time cycles and move into the second harmonic universe, we will be evolving into a time cycle called the Andunk time cycle, which is the next fastest moving. And they progressively go up. The fifth one would be the fastest moving. So we actually progress from the slowest moving time cycles to the lower harmonic universes up to the top, and then we have to come back again, slow down again, to go back through the center. And that's really the process of the overall evolution. But right now all we need to worry about are the 2 time cycles, the Andunk time cycle that we are headed toward, and the Taran time cycle that we are in right now. The most important thing at this time, I believe, for us to understand about the relationship between those 2 harmonic universes is that our planet originally came from here. Earth came from here. And the planets in our solar system that we have identified, and there are 2 that we have not yet identified, they have all come out of a planet and a condition that happened to a planet in the second harmonic universe. There was, about 560 trillion years ago, and the Guardians tell me this is the closest translation of time they can get. We are dealing with two different time cycles. It's very hard to translate amounts of time from one system in relation to the other, but in our time terms, in our time concepts, it would be about 560 trillion years ago. There was a planet formed within the second harmonic universe, and that planet's name was Terra. And Terra evolved for many, many millions and millions of years. Now, when we're dealing with the second harmonic universe and Terra, many of the visitors to our planet right now that you hear people talk about in like alien visitation and all of these kind of things, and some people don't think they're real because they can't imagine where they could come from. We know that they're not on Mars. We have, telescopes up there. We'd see them. Well, a lot of them, and most of them, are coming from the second harmonic universe. That's why you can send anything you want up in space to try to find life here. You're looking in the wrong harmonic universe, so you probably won't find it. You have to go into this harmonic universe to find it. So what happened a very long time ago on the planet called Terra, about 560 million years ago, there was a race of beings seated on this planet. The race was called the Turanicium, and they were a very, very special race. They were kind of like the babies of the universe. The Turanicium race was created by taking the genetic strains of all of the other type of beings that existed within all of the other dimensional systems and harmonic universes, taking them and splicing together the best of the best in order to form a super prototype. And what the beings who created us wanted to create was a species that could embody not only a soul, but an oversoul. It could embody the consciousness of 12 of the 15 dimensions. Most body forms, either here or in the second harmonic universe, can only embody within them a certain amount of energy identity. After a certain amount of energy identity is added in, the gene code can't tolerate anymore. And that's when the form would transmute and the consciousness would move into and evolve into a state of pure consciousness being, where it no longer needed a biology. The Turanicium race was created to be a living library for the 15-dimensional matrix. It would contain the gene codes of 12, within biology, it would contain 12 levels of dimensional systems. And there were contributors of, I think they said about several 100 million different species contributed gene code product to create this new species. This species was viewed as godlings. We were created to eventually become creator gods. And we were revered highly by those other extraterrestrial and second harmonic civilizations who wanted to see themselves be able to expand and evolve beyond their own potentials of their species. So we were created with a lot of high hopes. And the Turaniciums are who we originally were. And this is a surprise to most people, because most people don't even know the second harmonic universe exists. So about 560 million years ago, the universe got together, if you want to look at it that way. Different biologies got together and contributed their genetic material to create this super race of beings. And they succeeded. They created the Turanicium race. They were second harmonic beings. There were gender delineations at certain periods of time. There were other periods of time when there was no gender to them. They did not reproduce by mammalian means as we do. They produced through energy replication. They didn't need to do the mammalian thing. They were a very, very special breed in the sense that they had 12 strands of DNA. We have 2 strands of DNA. Can you imagine what it might mean to have the potentialities of 12 strands? What abilities would that give us? What would our minds be like? What would our comprehension, our power, what would we be like with 12 strands? Compared to what we know ourselves as now, we would be godlike. We would have abilities that we could only dream of having now. And that is what the Turanicium race did have.